Hey, Shalom. I want to start by giving all honor and glory to Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, by Shem Dash. Double honor to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. And Shalom to the elect. I didn't put out that many videos last week, simply because there's a lot of misleading things out here, man. Okay, there's so much folly and lies going on. Okay, it's crazy. Okay, and it's hard to differentiate, okay, lies from the truth in this time period that we're in. Okay, so it's better, just to let things play out, okay, because they have things called decoys, even in battle, right? There was a time in battle, okay, where using a decoy was the best move. Okay, they had decoy tanks in World War II. Okay, look, fake tanks, primarily inflatable or wooden dummies, were crucial deception tools used by the Allies, especially the secret Ghost Army, okay, to mislead German forces about troop strengths and locations, diverting enemy attention from actual invasion sites like Normandy and creating the illusion of larger armies with fake radio calls, sounds, and dummy equipment. These dummies, often mounted on trucks or made from rubber, were effective visual decoys, making German intelligence believe forces were elsewhere, such as the Pas de Calais instead of Normandy. Okay, so this is what these devils do. Okay, they'll use some type of decoy, okay, to make you believe a lie, man. Okay, and this is why I'm always preaching being circumspect, okay, because this is part of war. All right, when you're sitting in the watchtower, a decoy can be placed there, to take your eye off the prize. Okay, we know the prize is Yahweh Shai, to take your eye off that. To bring you back into the world to get you believing a lie, okay? And this is what this devil does, man, okay? Let me get this one. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 9. It says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. Okay, so this is how this man gets down. Okay, this man gets down through deception and decoy. Okay, and we have to be able to work our way through it, through the spirit. Okay, don't be just forcing up videos, just to, make some kind of a quota. Make sure it's all edifying. Okay, make sure it's truthful. Okay, and scriptural. Okay, so we know that this devil Esau Edom is always coming after the working of Satan with power, signs, and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perished, because they received not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause, Yahweh Shem Yahshua shall send them strong delusion, that they should be believe a lie. Okay? And this is the Lord doing this. Okay? The Lord is making sure that only the circumspect, right, only the true believers will continue on in it. Okay? Because this will wear you down so much. Right? I read in the Amplified, it says, because of this, God will send upon them misleading influence and activity of error and deception, so they will believe a lie. All right? So, this is important that we continue in truth. Okay? Now, I wanted to bring out this article, okay, that I saw, and this is part of the lie. Okay, but it's lies mixed with truth. All right? And I'll tell you, it's a beautiful thing for the teachers and the brothers that's out here teaching and doing the right thing. Okay? So the article says Putin invited to join Trump's board of peace, Kremlin says. Okay, so these devils are they're acting like they're at war, and then they're acting like they're at peace. So what actually is going on here? Okay, what do we know? Okay, we know that the New World Order, okay, or the beast system has to be implemented. Okay, so that should tell us what? These nations are going to have to agree on some degree, okay? On one form or another, they're going to have to agree on this system, okay? And this is why the scriptures say, right, to measure the time. Okay, the scripture tells us to measure the time. All right, and it's how you do it. Okay, you measure it through the prophecies and what needs to happen for them to take place. Okay, this is 2 Ezra 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou shalt see parts of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Okay, and the importance of this, okay, this is how you're able to get through the lies. Okay, because this devil will have you to believe that World War III is right there. Okay, but we know, all right, that the mark of the beast has to be implemented. All right, so more than likely these things are decoys. Okay, to get us away from what's actually going on, because this is what decoys are used for. Okay, to keep your eye in this place so they can do something else behind you and you won't be noticing because your eye is placed on that decoy. Okay, so when you measure it that way. Okay, and we know, okay, that this here, if we know that these people have to come together, then we would know that this is good. This is good news right here. Okay, this is true news. Okay, because these devils have to come together in order to get this beast system up and running. Okay, so it says the Board of Peace has been created by U.S. President Trump to oversee the reconstruction of Gaza. Okay, so these devils are going to come together under the banner of rebuilding Israel. Okay, the greater Israel, okay, which we brought out before. But let's look at it again. Okay, so these devils are going to be under the greater Israel project. Okay, this is how they're going to come together. Okay, it says the Greater Israel Project refers to a long-standing Zionist concept and nationalist aspiration for a Jewish state encompassing territories beyond current Israeli borders, including the West Bank, Gaza, Jordan, Syria, Lebanon, and Egypt, sometimes stretching to the Nile to the Euphrates. Okay, so these devils, are going to attempt to come together, okay, in order to, try to fulfill, the coming of Yahweh Shai. Okay, these devils are going to bring in a false Messiah, right, an Antichrist. Right, though we know that there are many Antichrists, they're going to try to bring in an Antichrist and have you to believe that this is actually Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, so this is what these devils are actually doing, okay? They're actually coming together to build up Israel, claiming that they're at war, but eventually they will. Okay, we know that it eventually come to war. Okay, but we know the Lord does everything, according to his season, right? Everything according to his time.